my people, area waiting they play, waiting they saw like this. So I don't bring new update for all the obedience family movement around the world, and for the good people of Nigeria wey get the mindset to take change this country. Some people no know the meaning of this obedience movement or obedience family. No be society, no be club. Na the better people wey want change this country, wey want make this country comot for darkness go light, na be this obedience movement of family. Make una get that mindset. Abeg, na the people wey want make this country change from bad to good, na be the obedience family. Na wetin that name mean, na wetin we stand for. Like this, I just bring update for una. Una know say tomorrow na be court wey Peter Obi and the team dey come to court to bring more evidence witness again. Unto say na court we wan dey go for this season. I just say make I quick come give una this update in case of tomorrow. So people, una dey aware wetin dey happen. Oya, make we feel am.
Since the hearing of Peter Obi and the Labour Party's petition began at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, Abuja, many lawyers have been talking about legal technicalities, how the defendants will try to take advantage of that, and what the petitioners should do to avoid it. Today, we will take a look at legal technicalities, what it means, and why it is their only hope of winning in court. There here refers to, of course you know, the trial of Tinubu, APC, and INEC. When a defendant starts to dig for the slightest error in the rules of the court or procedures, the lawyer is simply looking to take advantage, not minding the injustice that the plaintiff will suffer. In other words, the lawyer knows that the case has merit, but his only defense is to look for little errors here and there and try to capitalize on them to convince the judge that the rules of the court or procedures should be followed to the letter, which might ultimately lead to the dismissal of the case if the judge agrees with him to overlook the merits of a case and dismiss it because of little errors that have no effect whatsoever on the substantive matter. So when this kind of thing happens in court, it is referred to as technicality, that the matter was struck off based on technicality. Technicalities can not only be introduced during trials. In some cases, the plaintiff might have gotten judgment only for the case to be dismissed on appeal for the slightest excuse of something like court jurisdiction, which means that the plaintiff took the matter to the wrong court. According to Nigeria's constitution, each court has its own jurisdiction. The type of matter that each court can hear or try are clearly spelled out. The court is where people run to get justice. But when they are denied justice based on legal technicalities, one wonders if the court is truly living up to expectation or serving the purpose that it's supposed to serve. Judges shouldn't be relying on technicalities to strike off cases. In fact, all legal technicalities should be resolved before the trial can begin, not during or after the trial. It is obvious that the defendants in Peter Obi's petition will rely on technicalities in their arguments. They will hope to convince the judges to overlook the merits of Peter Obi's petition and make their decision based on technicality. This can be seen in how they oppose and object to certified true copies admitted in evidence by the court, despite agreeing during the pre-trial not to oppose them. Anyway, there's good news. The presiding judge promised that they will look at every matter and plea made by the petitioners based on their merit. Unless they do otherwise, which they haven't done for now, we should just follow the proceedings without prejudice. Now, let's look at another question that many people are asking. We see this question pop up many times in the comment section. People are asking about the 25%. Why haven't the court heard it, and what's their decision on the 25% requirement in the FCT? If you've been following the trial, you will see that the court is trying to take it one after the other. According to Peter Obi and the Labour Party's petition, the first prayer in their petition is the issue of non-qualification of Tinubu based on his forfeiture of $460,000 to the US government. being proceeds of narcotics trafficking. So the Labour Party are praying the court to disqualify him, and the first witness they called testified on the $460,000 forfeiture. After that, they are now tendering evidence in court. When they finish, they will go to the next stage, and the court will not deliver judgment separately. After the trial ends, they will deliver judgment the same time on all the prayers sought by the petitioners. Let's use this opportunity to reiterate that the issue of 25% is so embedded in our constitution that it is impossible to rule against. Let's just cite another example out of the many we've cited in many of our videos. This is section 134, where it talks about what conditions the winner of the presidential election must fulfill. Let's skip subsection 1b, where it mentions 2/3 of all the states in the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Remember but that's not our concern today. Let's go to subsection 3, where it talks about the candidates that will participate in a runoff election. In B, it says, one among the remaining candidates who has a majority of votes in the highest number of states. States here is our concern. We did this section in the other video where we talked about the candidates that will participate in a runoff election. For those who always argue that Abuja should be taken as a state in election matters, if the constitution considers Abuja as a state, the framers would have included Abuja here. But notice how it says majority of votes in the highest number of states alone. It didn't include Abuja here. And let's not forget that after a runoff election, if there is still no clear winner, they will determine the winner in another election based on the highest number of votes alone. The 25% rule in 2/3 of the states and Abuja will no longer apply. This is covered in subsection 5, as you can see. Like already said in another video, Nigeria should tackle problems from the root. When you uproot the problem like the way you uproot a plant, you solve the problem. Most of the time we are tackling effects of a problem rather than the root cause of the problem itself. Why must every presidential election in Nigeria end up in court? Not just presidential election. Many states, they contest the results in court. The powers of INEC returning officers, collation officers, or any INEC commissioner who has the right to declare someone a winner of an election in Nigeria must be removed. Even without proving that they intentionally rigged and altered the results in favor of the APC, humans can make mistakes during calculations. That's the human factor. So why should we rely on humans when we know that they make mistakes? Especially when we know that softwares and machines can do it better. The best way to conduct elections in Nigeria going forward is to eliminate all the collation points, because this is where they manufacture figures. In the presidential election, there are 4 collation points or levels. There's the ward level collation, local government collation, state level collation, and the final level, the National Collation Center. In a governorship election, there is ward collation, local government, and the state collation centers. So in order to remove the human factor at the different collation centers, the results of the election from each polling unit should be filled in an online form and uploaded through an encrypted secure connection to INEC servers. The application running on the server should automatically reject results that are more than the registered voters in a polling unit. All possibilities should be taken care of by the software, including handling of PVCs. There's no reason whatsoever to deny a qualified citizen his right to vote in an election, simply because of INEC's incompetence. If you walk into a bank and open an account, you will walk out minutes later with your debit card. Some banks even have ATMs that dispense debit cards. So why should we rely on unnecessary bureaucracy when it can be done more efficiently? There's no reason a citizen can't get his voter's card 24 hours before the election. People turn 18 every hour, so why should their country disenfranchise them? Ever wonder why local TV channels show the results of elections in real time in Western countries and some African countries, but in Nigeria they don't do that? It's not supposed to be. Local TV stations should have a connection to INEC servers with their own software so as to display the results in real time. This will seriously improve transparency in the electoral process. And since the software will be responsible for collation of the results, the winners will be known a few hours after voting ended. Of course, a judge will need to affirm the results. If it is a presidential election, one judge will affirm the results, another one for a state, National Assembly, and others. This is the only way to eliminate blatant rigging and stealing of votes. In polling units where elections didn't hold or marred by violence, elections must be repeated there so as not to disenfranchise citizens and give some undue advantages to some candidates. Imagine the huge amount of money that will be saved from just moving of results from one point to another to collect the results. The polling officer will just punch the results in front of everyone and upload it. No need to go to the ward headquarters to collect the results or local government collation center, etc. No need for the state returning officer to board a flight to Abuja with other people just to go and read out the figures on national television. What a waste. This structure of waste needs to be dismantled, and the only person that can do it is someone this structure was used to sell his votes. The people that benefit from this kind of structure will never change it and make it efficient, because if they do, they can never ever win election in Nigeria again. Buhari claimed in the past that he was a victim of election malpractice and rigging. Look at the election that Buhari conducted. Someone who should know better from experience. If we continue doing something the same way, we keep failing. The only way out is to change the way we do it. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. Other countries do it better than us, so we just need to emulate them. It's excusable that someone can't do something because he lacks the know-how. But it's inexcusable that someone can't emulate something that others have done. By the way, election rigging should be made a treasonable offense so that people will think twice before snatching ballot boxes or ballot papers. Remember that hearing on P2B's petition resumes tomorrow.
I hope una don see the update. Na so the matter dey go. Auto say God go give Peter Obi the victory for this case wey in dey fight for this president wahala. Wetin una talk, make una let us know for the comment section. Make una still dey pull Peter Obi for prayer anytime una dey pray. May God dey give am wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and may dey protect him and his household, so that any arrow wey all those people throw, e no go reach his body and his children. Na here we for draw the matter. God go bless una as una dey support us. Help us subscribe to this channel. If you dey see am for the first time, abeg make you still like the video. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anytime you come see this video. Not forget one thing, get this mindset. Obedient family of movement, no be secret court, no be society. Na people wey want betterment of this Nigeria, na dem be. Bye bye.